The global auto industry has been a battlefield of innovation, disruption, and fierce competition. For decades, Western giants like General Motors, Ford, and Volkswagen dictated the pace of the automotive world. Japan followed with Toyota and Honda, revolutionizing reliability and efficiency. Germany brought luxury and performance with BMW, Mercedes, and Audi. But today, a new power has emerged, one that many underestimated: China's BYD. And the latest revelation from BYD's CEO has left automakers worldwide more nervous than ever before. The story of BYD is unlike any other. This is a company that didn't begin as an automaker. Back in the 1990s, it started as a small battery manufacturer, quietly working in the background while the global giants pushed gasoline engines and celebrated their century-old legacies. Nobody imagined that a battery company would one day become the world's largest electric car producer, outpacing Tesla and shaking the very foundation of the industry. Yet here we are, and it's happening faster than anyone expected. Recently, BYD's CEO revealed a bold plan that goes far beyond just selling cars in China. His announcement wasn't just about launching a new model or expanding production capacity, it was about redefining the future of mobility itself. In his words, the company is prepared to accelerate its expansion into Europe, Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and even North America, taking its cutting-edge technology global. And with every word, automakers around the world felt the pressure mount. So why exactly is this revelation making industry leaders nervous? It comes down to three things: cost, innovation, and scale. BYD has mastered the art of producing affordable electric vehicles without compromising quality. Their compact EVs often cost less than half the price of a Tesla Model 3, yet come with impressive range, modern interiors, and technology that rivals anything in the West. That alone is enough to disrupt markets where EVs are still seen as expensive luxuries. Then comes the innovation. BYD isn't just building cars, they're building the future of energy. Their revolutionary blade battery is safer, more durable, and cheaper to produce than most competitors' lithium-ion cells. This gives them a massive edge in both cost reduction and consumer trust. Unlike legacy automakers who are still struggling to source batteries from third parties, BYD makes its own, giving it full control over the most critical component of an electric car. And finally, scale. BYD has already surpassed Tesla in global EV sales. While Tesla focuses on premium markets, BYD is flooding the world with a range of vehicles, from compact hatchbacks and family sedans to luxury SUVs and even electric buses. This strategy allows them to dominate every segment of the market simultaneously, creating a presence that rivals cannot easily match. The CEO's latest reveal emphasized one key message: BYD is not slowing down. The company is investing billions into new gigafactories, global partnerships, and export strategies. Its cars are already winning awards in Europe and Asia, and its brand recognition is rising rapidly. For traditional automakers, this is alarming because they are still stuck between two worlds, trying to protect their gasoline profits while attempting to transition into electric mobility. BYD, on the other hand, is fully committed to the EV revolution with no baggage holding it back. Industry analysts have been quick to point out that BYD's approach could reshape the global auto hierarchy. If they succeed in building a strong foothold in Western markets, they won't just compete with Tesla, they'll put pressure on Ford, Toyota, Volkswagen, and every major player. The threat is real, because BYD isn't selling a dream or a concept. They're delivering cars right now, in massive numbers, at prices that seem almost impossible. But what makes automakers truly nervous is that BYD's rise reflects something bigger: the shift of technological dominance from west to east. For decades, car companies in America, Europe, and Japan set the gold standard. Now, China's automakers are proving that they can lead the future. And BYD's CEO is openly declaring that this is just the beginning. His reveal wasn't only about cars, it was about ecosystems. BYD wants to integrate solar power, home energy storage, and electric transportation into one seamless package. Imagine a world where your house is powered by solar panels, your battery system stores that energy, and your BYD car uses it to drive you anywhere you need to go. That's not science fiction. That's BYD's vision. And for automakers who are still focused on selling cars as standalone products, this holistic approach feels like a massive threat. The ripple effect of this revelation is being felt across boardrooms worldwide. Executives from Europe to Detroit are scrambling to accelerate their own EV strategies, but many are still struggling with high costs, limited supply chains, and uncertain demand. Meanwhile, BYD continues to move forward with confidence, scaling faster than anyone thought possible. For consumers, this is exciting. More competition means more choices, better technology, and lower prices. But for legacy automakers, this could mark the most disruptive period in their history. Some may adapt and survive. Others may fade away, unable to keep up with the speed of change. As the world shifts towards electric mobility, one thing has become clear: the auto industry is no longer controlled by the same names that dominated the past century. With each bold announcement, BYD proves that the future belongs to those who innovate fearlessly and scale relentlessly. And after the CEO's latest revelation, the entire industry knows that the pressure has never been higher. The automotive world stands at a crossroads, and BYD is leading the way. Whether competitors like it or not, the game has changed forever. The announcement may have only lasted a few minutes, but its impact is echoing across the globe. For many in the West, the name BYD was barely familiar a decade ago. Today, it's not just a Chinese success story, it's a global force rewriting the rules of the auto market. The CEO's words were delivered with confidence, but beneath the calm tone lay a message that unsettled rivals everywhere. BYD is no longer content with being a domestic champion. It is coming for the world stage, and it is coming fast. To understand why this revelation stings, you have to look at the state of legacy automakers. Companies like Ford, Volkswagen, and Toyota have invested billions into EV development, but they face an uphill battle. Their business models are still deeply tied to gasoline-powered cars, which remain their primary profit source. Transitioning too quickly risks alienating their traditional customers and disrupting revenue streams. But moving too slowly risks losing ground to competitors like BYD, who have no such hesitation. This delicate balancing act has kept them cautious, while BYD races ahead with full commitment. The CEO's revelation highlighted not just growth but confidence. BYD is building not only more EVs, but also infrastructure around them: charging stations, energy storage solutions, and new battery technologies. This holistic vision means customers aren't just buying a car, they are buying into an entire ecosystem. In an age where sustainability is no longer optional, this kind of integrated approach is powerful. It positions BYD not only as an automaker but as an energy company shaping the future of how we live and move. For automakers watching from the sidelines, Volkswagen recently admitted that its EV margins remain thin, struggling to compete on price with Chinese rivals. Ford has reported billions in losses on its EV division, while GM is facing production delays and battery shortages. These challenges are not unusual during a transition, but when placed against the backdrop of BYD's rapid growth, they seem even more daunting. The global auto industry has always been a chessboard where moves are planned years in advance. For a century, Western companies dictated the pace. Now, BYD has flipped the script. Its vehicles, such as the Dolphin, the Seal, and the Atto 3, are making waves in markets from Thailand to Germany. In each case, consumers are drawn to their blend of affordability, practicality, and style. These are not bare-bones budget cars. They come with technology-packed interiors, large infotainment screens, and advanced safety systems, all at a price point that traditional automakers find hard to match. The CEO's latest revelation also touched on BYD's ambitions to ramp up exports dramatically. Factories in China are running at full capacity, and new plants are being constructed overseas. Hungary, for example, is set to host BYD's first major European manufacturing hub. For the European Union, which has long prided itself on being the home of brands like BMW, Mercedes, and Peugeot, the idea of Chinese EVs rolling off assembly lines in their own backyard is unsettling. It signals not just competition, but direct infiltration of their markets and supply chains. Meanwhile, in the United States, the situation is equally tense. The American government has already imposed tariffs and restrictions on Chinese EVs, fearing their competitive advantage could devastate domestic manufacturers. But trade barriers can only hold off disruption for so long. BYD has already signaled interest in entering North America through partnerships, and with global demand for affordable EVs skyrocketing, it's only a matter of time before their presence grows too large to ignore. This revelation comes at a time when Tesla, once seen as the untouchable EV leader, is also under pressure. While Tesla still enjoys strong brand recognition and dominance in premium segments, its vehicles are expensive compared to BYD's offerings. Elon Musk himself has acknowledged that Chinese automakers represent the toughest competition, warning that they will demolish rivals who underestimate them. That kind of statement coming from Tesla's CEO only amplifies the weight of BYD's latest announcement. What automakers fear most is that this is not a short-term trend. BYD is not riding a temporary wave of hype, it has spent years building the foundation for this moment. Its battery expertise, vertical integration, and massive production capacity give it a long-term advantage that rivals cannot easily replicate. Legacy brands may try to cut costs, but they still rely heavily on suppliers for batteries and critical components. BYD, by contrast, makes everything in-house, giving it control over quality, pricing, and scalability. The psychological impact of the CEO's reveal cannot be overstated. It wasn't just an update, it was a declaration of intent. BYD is telling the world that it's ready to play on the biggest stage, and it has the resources to back up its ambition. For competitors, this is not just a new player, it's a reshaping of the entire industry landscape. Consumers, however, stand to benefit. More affordable EVs mean faster adoption, cleaner cities, and wider access to sustainable technology. Governments pushing for zero-emission goals are likely to welcome BYD's aggressive expansion, as it accelerates the shift away from fossil fuels. But in the boardrooms of Detroit, Tokyo, and Stuttgart, the mood is far less enthusiastic. They see not opportunity, but disruption, a future where their dominance is no longer guaranteed. And as the dust settles from the CEO's latest revelation, one truth becomes undeniable. The auto industry has entered a new era, and BYD is no longer a challenger. It is a leader. As the dust begins to settle, one thing is clear: the automotive world will never be the same again. The revelation from BYD's CEO wasn't just a speech. It was a signal. A signal that the old rules no longer apply. A signal that the age of gasoline dominance is fading faster than anyone predicted. And a signal that the future of mobility is being written, not in Detroit or Stuttgart, but in Shenzhen. For the automakers of the past century, this is a moment of reckoning. They can either adapt quickly, embracing electrification with the same urgency as BYD, or they risk being left behind in the shadows of history. For consumers, it's a moment of opportunity, where innovation, affordability, and sustainability converge to create choices that were once unimaginable. The nervousness we see across boardrooms is not just fear of competition, it's the realization that the center of gravity in the auto world has shifted. The giants of yesterday are no longer guaranteed to be the leaders of tomorrow. And as BYD expands its reach across continents, the question is no longer if it will challenge the industry's powerhouses, but how quickly it will overtake them. This is the story of disruption. This is the story of ambition. And this is the story of a company that dared to dream beyond borders. The auto industry is shaken, and the world is watching. The road ahead belongs to those bold enough to drive it. If you found this story eye-opening, make sure to stay with us as we continue exploring the future of cars, technology, and the companies reshaping our world. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps us bring you more deep dives into the biggest shifts in the global auto industry. The future is arriving faster than anyone expected, and you won't want to miss what's coming next.